to return. The morning's clear with the hum of electricity and ozone in the air. Oh, the energy, the glory, yeah, the spark that gave them breath. The iron and obsidian laid heavy on their breasts. When first I came to understand that nothing really dies, it just changes, rearranges all the space between the lines. I felt myself elongate, stretched across the field of time. I saw the names splashed on a sea of shimmer and shine. Do you see it written there in lights of sun for each occasion? It's a marquee lit in candle lights the stars. My destination. Then I'm turned for the door. I see her standing there. She's got blazing circles in her eyes and diamonds in her hair. There's carbon, laced in carbon, laid in braids across her back. The lattice cracks and shatters, but the heart remains intact. Yeah, the growing paranoia of the blackness in the sky, with me seconds, minutes, hours, days, and years before it's light. This vessel surging forward, salty veins that crash and fall, until the channel widens and the sea reclaims us all. My words become a sextant, meant to aid my navigation. Where I'm born across this endless sea and stars. My destination.
It's beautiful. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it. And you have some over there. But what I love about it is it sounds really timeless. It's got these really great melodies, and some of them are like super catchy. But your words are right up there. So it's like, you got both things happening. So I like that.
The double threat.
The double threat. Yeah.
Hidden from both sides, coming and going. It's true, I have some copies back there on an old-fashioned format called compact disc.
Well, I was excited because I got a turntable, matching speakers for a turntable for Christmas. So I've been pulling out my very old vinyl that I've been lugging around for 40 years. Like, someday I'll have it again.
Vinyl's outselling CDs these days.
Well, it's just, I put on an old record, and even as it's scratched up as it was, it still sounds so beautiful and 100 times better. So now, that's committed. It's just wonderful. Plus, they look beautiful. So. Anyway, I have an album coming out that's recorded, that's being pressed, even as we speak, although probably not on Sunday, but right here in Austin. And I recorded it right here in Austin. And it's called The Fields of Shazy, and this is the title song from it. It's about kind of a story of my grandfather, who was very old when I was little, in his second marriage, and I found out some things about his life and I decided to write about it. And Shazy was a town way up in upstate New York, way up in the north by Canada. Grandpa died when I was young, a farmer and a farmer's son. His heart was in the North Country, among the fields of Shazy. Albeit was young Joseph's bride. For 8 years she was at his side. Through summer, winter, spring and fall, working the fields of Shazy. The bond was strong enough to bear the hard times and the trials they shared. The 1915 winter came, and his love could not save him. Being his first child was her last. Just 29 years when she passed. Joe buried them and froze the ground 10 miles north of Shazy. 10 long years Joe walked alone. The sorrow settled in his bones. So 500 apple trees. Some said that he'd gone crazy. It's spring 1925. Joe took Elizabeth for his bride. My dad arrived in 29, born in the town of Shazy. Grandpa played accordion with gnarled hands when I was young. The songs of old Acadia, 200 miles from Shazy. The snow-white winter orchids bloom the day he heard Grandpa's news. His heart stopped, his spirit blew, and all beneath, straight up to Lake Champlain. Today I walk a winding road. I touch the trees my grandpa sowed. My heart's here in the North Country, among the fields of Shazy. The twisted ancient apple trees, the sweet fruit of his legacy. Yes, this my grandpa left to me, his verdant fields of Shazy. Grandpa died when I was young, a farmer and a farmer's son. His heart was in the North Country, among the fields of Shazy.
And did you say there's a release date on that record yet?
That release date is March 1st.
Oh, that's coming right up.
That's coming right up. Yeah.
Yeah, gonna be a CD release show.
There is. We're still working on it.
Okay. Okay, where? Okay. That was the next question, but you beat me to it. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. As the years go by, the venues in Austin are contracting a bit.
It is harder and harder to find places to ply the songwriter trade. Or this place is as cool as this, so.
There's no shortage of songwriters, though.
There could always be more. So I was reading this morning, I got up, made some coffee, as I usually do, this being the first thing that one must do in the morning to achieve life, and new spark. I'm reading this book called Lincoln and the Bardo by George Saunders, which was recommended to me by somebody, I can't remember who, but it takes place in this sort of purgatory of the afterlife, and there was a scene in it where someone was weighing a heart, but it was a very Judeo-Christian weighing of a heart, and definitely not Egyptian because there were no crocodiles involved. So this is a song about that. Spread your wings to cover me, stars imperishing and bright. I am a stranger in the land where the falcon lost his eye, and he cried a mighty river, now it surges from its shores, and I'm left to drink the flood down, a raft adrift with broken oars. Bloom of roses on his face, his tongue stained red with sweet charades. The wine cuts deep into the skin, the same way the desert does. And his eyes well up and empty to wash the sand from off his clothes. Born in the eastern sky this morning, died in the same way that he rode. They set upon the empire that these soldiers turned to thieves. The wealth of kings lay low and waiting, ere the space of centuries. Me in khakis and white linens, they in their white linens too, dressed in palm wine, spice and honey, to let the jackal take his due. And so we thought a little while about the measure of his heart, and how the scales tip and balance where the souls wait to depart. And the crocodile lay waiting in her hunger deep within, for the souls of thieves, songwriters, the least original of sins. Cover me, stars imperishing bright. I am a stranger in the land where the falcon lost his eye, and now his hope didn't cave, and then he falls upon his prey. The curse of 7,000 years, screaming down on drunks like me. And in the evening light of Cairo, he could hear the master's call. He sees the feather placed in waiting for a heavy heart to fall. And he'll find him in the river, wrapped in linens for his clothes, born in the eastern sky this morning, died in the same way that he rose, born in the eastern sky this morning, died in the same way that he rose, born that he rules. Cairo, 1922. Scary stuff.
Yeah. I think it's scary in Cairo right now, too. Like, if you go there, you have a chance of being kidnapped. So, if you're touristy, unfortunately, it's somewhere I've always wanted to go.
It's on my list. But at least I'm not being pursued through the streets by the Egyptian god of the dead.
That's true.
Most nights.
Maybe just someone wants to kidnap you and hold you for ransom.
I would take that over
Yeah.
the... You can rationalize with a kidnapper. You can pay ransom to a kidnapper. God of the dead gets you. I'm pretty certain you're boned.
That's it, yeah. That's it. Well, this one's,
G minor's 50.
Well, this is a song, one of the, there's good things about getting older. You're smarter, hopefully, right? We're smarter. Hopefully we're smarter. But having some of our, in my case, you know, my personal musical heroes pass on is always a little bit upsetting. And that's what inspired me to write this song. There was a singer I really liked who was named Valerie Carter. She was amazing. She was a little bit of a solo career. And she was a backup singer for many years. And I had read she had passed on a few years ago, and I was sitting there and I heard this news. I found it upsetting because I loved her music. And right then I was sitting back when I lived in Wimberley, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day like this, and all of a sudden this huge cloud came in, and it just started pouring. And I wrote this song later on in the day. It's called Rain.
Brothers from a tiny crack, and there's no
Thank you. Really nice on guitar. Can I just like shriek you and take you around in my back pocket to gigs, especially for that song?
You know?
That'd be nice.
I'm coming up with new features every day.
Insta-William.
We can miniaturize. I'm all for it. Miniaturization has made our lives so much better in so many ways. Pocket guitar player is the next big thing.
Except if you were this big, would it sound like...
No, you want that miniaturized size, but full-size sound.
Yeah.
That's the trick right there. I'll let you know.
Mini.
Well, I kicked the year off right by going into the studio for 2 days, so I cut a couple of singles, and they're going to be out sometime this year. Probably digitally first, but then I am playing with the idea of 7-inch vinyl. Because wouldn't it be cool to actually put out a single with an A-side and a B-side? I've never done that.
You can have the whole...
Yeah, you gotta. I'll hand those out. I'll hand the little red things out at gigs that go in the middle of the record. I'm sure those things have a name. Adapters. Like.
Yeah. 45 adapters.
They should have a cooler name than that. They should be called like vinyl dongles or Plastis Masters or I don't know. They should have a name. They should be a thing.
We were a simpler generation. 45 adapters.
45 adapters. Okay, it's functional minimalism. In any case, this is one of the songs that's going to be on that Perspective 7-inch. I wrote it out in the West Texas desert one night. I was out on a rock with a couple other songwriters. We were somewhere in the second bottle of red wine, back when I drank. And red wine can make the stars seem even more numerous than they actually are out in West Texas. There's already like 10 billion of them, and then you get to your second bottle of wine, and now there's like 20 billion. That's where it starts. Starlight filtered through the second bottle of French red. It's hard to be so small. It's hard to be so small. A skein of stars spiral on, 'cause it's all through my head. It's hard to be so small. It's hard to be so small. Smell the fire on your clothes, the camps of 7,000 years. It's hard to be so small. It's hard to be so small. A screen of sparks to join the stars and show there's nothing left to fear. It's hard to be so small. It's hard to be so small. It's hard to know it's up there all the time. Safety of the city lights kindle the brightest shine. It's hard to find the place and know that place is really mine. It's hard to be so small and so alive. Where every stellar beacon blinks a pathway home to you. It's hard to be so far. It's hard to be so far. There's a lighthouse on the shoreline in the deepening of blue. It's hard to be so far. It's hard to be so far. And if anyone should stumble, Lord, and abdicate its throne, it's hard to be so far. It's hard to be so far. Then I would breathe new hydrogen to the socket where it's shone. It's hard to be so far. It's hard to be so far. It's hard to know it's up there all the time. The safety of the city lights can blow the brightest shine. It's hard to find a place and know that place is really mine. Oh, it's hard to be so small and so alive. There's an instrumental break right here, which I'm going to skip. Because on the record, when you hear it in a couple of months here, it's a fiddle solo played by Warren Hood. And I'll never approximate that. Well, I have wandered lost for several 100 million miles. It's hard to be a star. It's hard to be a star. Spent the quiet energy that I had carried as a child. It's hard to be a star. It's hard to be a star. I'm tired, Lord, I'm tired. I have nothing left to give. Oh, it's hard to be a star. It's hard to be a star. I'll blow this iron heart asunder so that others still might live. It's hard to be a star. It's hard to be a star. It's hard to know it's up there all the time. The safety of the city lights can dull the bright shine. It's hard to find the place and know that place is really mine. Oh, it's hard to be so small and so light. It's hard to be so small and so loud.
That's beautiful. I love when you go out to West Texas, and one of my favorite places is going to Davis Mountain State Park and just kind of lying back on the grass and looking out. The first time I went there and did that, we saw the space station right over there. And then we saw like a shooting star. That was great. Well, you even inspired me. I'm going to do a true Texas story. It's a little warm in here, huh?
Just heating up on stage.
This song requires some fingernails, which I've never been gifted with great fingernails, so I felt really proud of myself this past month. I was able to do my own acrylic fingertips, but they just all fell off yesterday, and I didn't get around to doing them, so it'll be a little muted. This song is a story of a female Texas outlaw. Her name was Laura Bowling, and she was around in the early 1900s, and she rode with the Wild Bunch, and she had a no-good boyfriend. His name was Ben Kilpatrick. He was called a Tall Texan. He was really handsome and kind of stupid, you know, like a lot of outlaws. She lived until the early 1960s, and I just kind of imagined her telling somebody who wouldn't believe that this little old lady who was a retired seamstress in Memphis could have this illustrious wild background in the Wild West. It's called Laura's Song. Daughter of an outlaw, and I live an outlaw life. From Abilene to Cody, across the great divide. The true love was my treasure, for my river was wide. Then I will tell my story now to you. Mom barely raised me, then she left me with her kin. They did the best they could to keep the restless child from sin. Bound for San Antonio, the red lights reeled me in. And I was no one's angel anymore. Family porters schooled me in the ways that please them. I took up with Bill Corbin and Blackjack Kitchens gave me. We'll die in Sonora, then I fell blue-eyed then. Yeah, I was a tall Texas girl. Running with the Wild Bunch, we robbed banks and trains. I would hold the horses till we made our getaway. We hit the Great Northern and the boys blew up the sage. $60,000 was the team. July to November of 01 mountain down to Little Rock on the run, living high. It ended in St. Louis where we both were caught and tried. They gave you 5, but then we got 15 years. Out on good behavior, 7 more years did I pine. I walked a straight and narrow path, while Ben did his hard time. A letter sent from prison, he said, Lord, please stay mine. And I will make this up to you someday. Ben had good intentions, but his outlaw ways ran deep. The promise of an honest life was one he could not keep. 'Cause 9 months after exiting that penitentiary, Ben died in a driving out in the number 9 trip. Daughter of an outlaw, and I let an outlaw ride. But 50 years have passed, and I'm the last one of their kind. Our secrets will die with me, and my name will fade with time. It's Lord, the tall Texas girl. Lord, the tall Texas girl. Thank you. Let's get a tasty before. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Yes, and thank you for the tippers. It's lovely and appreciated. And if we're not able to say thank you when we're playing, we do appreciate it. But we appreciate you just being here and listening, which is awesome on a Sunday afternoon.
I always want when someone drops like into the tip jar while I'm playing. I just want to like divert the song real quick and be like, and thank you to the people at the table in the back. Da, 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 da. I never do. So one of these days, though.
It'd be good if you were in a band and you had a little thing that you worked out ahead of time. You know, like the guys who do the touchdown dance.
Oh, yeah,
Handshake, you could work out a little.
Have you ever been to one of those like dueling piano bars? I had to go to one of those one time, and those
I've
guys
seen
have got
them,
the,
yeah.
they got the tip thing down where they're like, is there anybody here who went to the University of Texas? And people are like, and he's like, well, give me $20 if you went to the University of Texas. And then people start throwing money at him, and he's like,
And then
well,
they
wait.
play the yellow
Did it? And then they play the fight song, and they're like, wait, are there any Aggies in here? And then they'll start playing the other song, and it's like, tip me more if you want me to not play that song. And people just throw, like, it rains money at
It's
those
the power of
places.
alcohol, Lane.
I know. I just, sometimes it makes me
It's
think
real.
we're doing it wrong.
No. We should have learned piano instead of guitar. I saw that in New Orleans where it was a big piano bar, and yeah, it was similar. But it was more like, jazz standards.
See, I like that. Who likes Coltrane? Yay, 20s! Yeah, but if you like Mingus more. This is the B-side of the single. It's another desert song, so we'll just get the desert songs, and we'll come back to the wetter climates after this one. I wrote this one in the desert, but this one's very much about trying to find home if you've, I don't know, spent years on a boat, say, I don't know, cruising around the Mediterranean, fighting monsters and things like that, so. It equally applies if you've just been abroad for a while. Cold fire and thinning line, the sky began to bruise. The night settles for what it can get, and it beggars you to choose. glint of the tortured flint, just a tender left to use. And just a smile of the sunset line, bearing all its teeth at you. Polyphemus and a blinded eye, the color of the sea. At the bottom of abyssal plains, only wine dark for the leaves. You drink it down to a salty dregs, and you can pick it for your teeth. Like the strings of a liar's heart ringing out for harmony. And in the darkness there's 1,000 shining eyes. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Each shimmer on the memory with well-worn walking tracks. Ambulations of striding heart with the weight upon its back. 10 years as the stars go by, from gold to door to golden door. 777 like a trireme road out to Ithaca, the shore. And in the darkness there's no need for your disguise. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Rough beast in the undergrowth with eyes of fire and smoke. The pain of fears inherited and names on which you show. Ash given to the eastern wind, it's a temporary home. The lamp that burns for the traveler, and when it's gone, it's still alone. And in the darkness there's 1,000 shining eyes. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Come closer by the firelight and throw your sparks into the sky. Come closer by the firelight. Thanks, y'all. If you'd like to know when that A-side, B-side is coming out,
I'd like to know.
well, you should get on my mailing list.
Oh.
The information for which is over at the merch table. You can either sign up on a piece of paper, or you can take one of these handy-dandy little business cards that have all of the socials and all of the mailing list info. And either way, that's the best way for me to get information directly to you. And I don't send things out too often, but I will be sending things out this year when the record's coming out, the singles coming out, and when big shows are coming out. So,
Well, I'm glad you gave all that information because I could say for me, likewise.
why? What a
I don't even have to
coincidence!
say anything.
I think perhaps then the best thing that you can do, aside from buying all of our merch and putting money in the tip jar, would be to lend us your credentials so that we may.
Let you know when I'll
Find you.
get, yeah, let you know about all the exciting things coming up.
And find you in a non-scary way. We want to find you,
Yeah.
not find
We're
you.
not stalkers. I'm going to do a song that's on my upcoming album. I wrote it a few years ago, but I never recorded it. This album, Walt Wilkins was the producer on it. And he just, when he heard it, other people, heard it and said, well, I don't know, how are you gonna fill that one out? Is it a band songs and this or that? And Walt was like, oh, I know what it needs. And he just brought in a great pedal steel player, Jeff Queen, and Chris Beal, and Telecaster, and it just sounded great. So beautiful. People's key.
The people's key.
Yeah.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing violin players Anyway, no fiddle rumbles. It's called Unbound. It's about starting over. So we have very similar musical sensibilities, and I think we probably listened to the same music growing up, and you've had parents with excellent musical taste, obviously. And I had an older sister with excellent musical taste, and would bring home. She snuck off to Woodstock, and she'd come home. She came home and started like bringing all these albums, and I was a little kid, and I was like, wow. this song's really good. Like my friends were listening to, the Archies, and Sherman, and I got to listen to Van Morrison and Neil Young, and
There's nothing wrong with the Archies. Okay, but the Van Morrison and the Neil might have been better.
It was better. It was better. So when William told me, you're going out to LA to catch Neil Young, I was like, wow. Like, it's one thing if someone says in Austin, I went to see him, or they living in New York. But William was getting on a plane. He planned this all out, and he was going to see Neil Young. I'm like, you're a fan. So I was impressed.
Yeah, well, I made myself, a promise. Like, I lived in Europe for a little while, or in England, but it's now not part of Europe. That's confusing. I right before the pandemic, I caught a bunch of Neil Young shows over there, and kind of followed him down through Germany, and it was a fun little break from work over there. And at the end of that, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see him again. I'm over here, and then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to see anybody again. And so I promised myself that the next time he played like a full concert, I was going to be there for the first one post-pandemic. And it took 4 years. But then he announced it, and it announced it with like 2 weeks' notice. And I was on the plane to LA.
That's impressive.
You make a promise to yourself, you gotta follow.
Was it worth it? Was it a good show?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I've seen him about as many years ago. He was going through a weird phase. This is blues phase.
I would have killed this.
It was a secret show. They didn't announce it. No, it was just word of mouth. Many years ago.
A stealth Blues gig. If you're gonna catch Neil, that's like the weirdest thing you can catch.
Yeah. Probably be on the Cavern, Lower East Side.
This isn't a Neil Young song, much as I do enjoy playing those. But it's the new year, and every new year, every New Year's Day anyway, consider this like 6 days late. Every New Year's Day should start with Townsend Santa. So this song is for Donald Jones, the man in the black hat and the sunglasses, looking about as cool as a cucumber in the front row over here, who I haven't seen in years. So. I saw John Fulbright play tonight. He played Two Girls, which is a Townes Van Zandt song that I don't get hear covered enough. But I'm not going to do that one. It's got a great verse. Like, it's the only verse in the world about or only song in the world with a verse about Beaumont being full of penguins. So just for that, it earned a place in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. When the wind don't blow in Amarillo, and the moon alone gonna simply rise, will I cast my dreams upon your love grave, and lie beneath the laughter of your eyes? Will it snow on the tongue? Come morning, I'll be through the hills and gone. It's snowing on the tongue. Come morning, I'll be through the hills and gone. Well, mother thinks the road's long and lonesome. Little brother thinks the road is straight and fine. Little darling thinks the road is soft and lovely. I'm just thankful that old road's a friend of mine. Will it snow on the time? Come morning, I'll be through the hills and gone. Will it snow on the time? Come morning, I'll be through the hills and gone. Billy years goodbye, you cannot still them. Oh, you cannot turn the circles of the sun, and you cannot count the miles until you fed them, and you cannot hold the love that is gone. It's snowing on the time. Come morning, will be sleeping silent beneath the blankets green. But I will hear silence they are keeping. I'll bring all their promises to you. Let snow and all what's on. Come morning I'll be through the hills and all. It's snow and all what's on. Come morning I'll be through the hills and all. Come morning I'll be through the hills and all.
That's one of my favorite songs.
That song is prettiest. Like just that.
I think maybe that's a harmonic that started, because before when you played a chord and that came in, it sounded almost like...
It'd be like a train horn harmonica.
I'm determined to learn the harmonica in 2024. I see my friend Victor McKissick over here. Victor, you're going to give me a lesson, okay? Yeah, okay.
That phone is almost an A. It's like not quite an A. Like, actually, no, it's almost an E. Which is like a perfect train song, you know. If it just rang like, you know, in A and B7, we'd also be good.
So can I ask your parents a question? Will it be too embarrassing? Was he a busy child? Busy child? Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I had one musician offspring. A musician, a scientist, and a lawyer. Sounds like the beginning of a joke, doesn't it? Well, this is a song, it's hard to follow a Townes Van Zandt song, especially one done up beautifully, because they're perfect little jewels. This is another song that it's going to be on an upcoming album coming out March 1st. It's in the also People's key of B, which is another favorite of guitar players of People's. It's called The Days.
Taking what's best, I'll leave the rest.
Oh man. Well, I have this record that I'm supposed to be promoting because it came out in August, and because I have copies of it, and I haven't played like anything off of it except for the first song.
And it's really good. And it's
So-
really good. And I'm not just saying that because I've been listening to it. You know, I'm what you don't probably know about me is I'm really a picky customer. Like it's really hard for me to say something's really great if it's not. So it's gotten me into trouble over the years. And as a friend of mine said, you have no poker face. She was watching me play a group of people at a conference a few years ago, and she was like, you got to work on your poker face, buddy. You're really
Yeah,
good.
it's a great record.
It is good. It is great. It's actually phenomenal. So, thank you.
Thank you. Feeling the attraction to the quiet, slow ones. So this is a song. Period. This is a song sort of about, you know, you see the devastation from Pompeii and Herculaneum back in AD 79. Vespasian was the emperor. Those were the days. Yeah, you know, there's something kind of romantic about that image until you realize that all those people have like died in horrible agony, but you know, frozen in these moments. So, but I don't know, there's something still romantic about it, so it's still got a song. I took 7 years of Latin in school, so Rome factors in fairly heavily to just everything because they're the only people who really spoke it aside from everybody for the next 1,000 years in the Catholic Church. But there's no actual Latin in this song. We'll get to that part of the show later. I'm not kidding.
The audience participation part.
No, I mean, it took me years to get to it, but I did finally write in Latin. Well, it's good church Latin too, so anyone who's ever performed an exorcism will know it. But this isn't that song. Lean on, watch yourself from the sleep you goes now across my side. She's long and soft and languid, and her heart beats close, her eyes are open wide. She says, last night I dreamt the trumpets down. Last night I dreamt the serpents racing down the mountainside. And the tongues were forked like lightning, and their bodies forged in fire. They drove us to the wilderness, and with no place left to hide, we jumped in with all our clothes on. We went out just like the tide. Lines of sweat are foaming, yeah, she's burning, giving off another heat. She's cold, she's fire, she's naked under earth and rock and carbon sheets. Under pressure, building slowly every time her red heart beats like the world might split apart. If our bodies finally meet, and then there's only stone and diamond where a woman used to be. All that fire, all that fury, making channels of the sea. So open up and swallow me in. I would like to feel the same way that I did when we began. I sail away, oh, you draw me back, and the waters rush to fill these spaces where the oceans crack. tears a hole across the blue uncertain sky. She's a metronome with thunder sounding back and forth to keep the time. She says, last night I dreamt of trumpets down from heaven's gate on high, and the smell of burning sulfur seeps from hell's one open eye. And then the fever found it breaking in the cooling winds that wind from the falling walls of Jericho to crumbling mountainsides. And I know that day is coming. In my mind I plainly see two statues laid in embrace where our bodies used to be. The years may treat us kinder than the years it meant to be. Well, I know that day is coming when there's only you and me. Eveline unwinds herself from sleep. She throws the window shutters wide. It's morning on the mountain. She comes back to bed. She lays down by my side. She says there's nothing to remember from the dreams of sleep gone by, so we might as well just lay here with the sunlight in our eyes. So we'll walk down to the water, lay before us deep and wide. We'll jump in with all our clothes on and go out just like a tide. So open up and swallow me in. I would like to feel the same way that we did when we began. I sail away, oh you draw me back, and the waters rush to fill the places where the oceans crack. That song is called Eveline. You can find that on the record that's for sale back there. You can also find it on all of your streaming services, your Bandcamps, your Face Spaces, your MyBooks. It's probably on all of them.
I think I'm gonna tune up again, because that's not it. I'm gonna play a song that was on the first album I recorded here in Austin. And then when you come back, I'll ask you to play on this one if you want. It's like a G minor blues, if you can hear it. But anyway, I was lucky enough when I finally decided to record a solo album, later than most people start, because I started playing when I was young, like a teenager, in bars, and then I, went to college, studied music, that kind of kept me from pursuing a career in music, because when you stop for 4 years, it's funny, right? But and then I had kids, and I kind of decided that was like the most important thing to focus on, because I'm kind of ADD, so I said if I don't really give these people like my full focus, they could end up really messed up, and blaming me for it too. So I kind of wanted to avoid that. They're all grown, they're great. So I started out again a few years back. And recorded an album here in Austin with Gordy Quest producing it. And Gordy's the head of the band of Heathens, and he's a great guy and a really good producer. And thank you so much. So whenever you have someone play with you, you should put it in the stipulation that they bring you hot drinks. But anyway, this song's on that album, and it's called Trouble.
Behind me, when I woke up on Monday, the devil steals to find me. I see trouble all my days. I see trouble trouble all my days. See trouble all my days. I see trouble all my days. See trouble all my days. Thursday night I hit the town, the whiskey was flowing. Friday I was busted flat, no one seemed to know me. Woo-hoo, Saturday brought hell to pay. I hope too dark to mention. Last Sunday I was on my knees, I was begging for redemption. Trouble all my days. See trouble all my days. See trouble all my days. See trouble all.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always nice to have a lead guitar player on a song that really requires a lead guitar. It's a luxury when you're a solo artist.
We were saying earlier, double threat. You get them coming, you get them going.
I used to play in a band and I love it, but it can be an expensive little venture, so we save it for special occasions. But God releases.
You know, it's a little harder being a solo act and a lead guitar player because you have to find spaces to like throw a little something tasty in while you're also trying to like keep the chords going and keep the song going. But when it works, it really works.
And remember the words.
When it works, I think of, and this is really, really silly, follow me here, there's a line in the movie Spaceballs, everyone see Spaceballs? Where John Candy's like, I'm part man and part dog, I'm my new best friend. And that's kind of how I feel when it all comes together, is I feel like John Candy in Spaceballs.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, that just popped up. All right. So I put a single out in October, and it was a song that I basically had written off as too silly to exist. But I wrote it for a Halloween party. I wrote it for a Halloween party when we were writing some silly, spooky things. And but I took the story of the 1634 possessions of the Ursuline nuns in Louvain, France, as one does, and mixed it with American bluegrass. Smashed the two together and came up with a bluegrass song about possessed nuns. I played this like once in a blue moon for several years until I finally realized last year that life is too short to sit on the silly songs. So I went and I got the best bluegrass players that money could buy in Austin, Texas, which, I mean, there's a lot of good bluegrass players here and they work really cheap. So, and I got them to record this song. I'm going to do it as a proper bluegrass song. And like Spotify picked it up on their official new bluegrass playlist, and like people that I used to work with in England were like, hey, I was listening to this bluegrass station and I heard your song about naughty nuns. And that's a really weird thing to have, and it actually, like, that single got more streams than the whole of the record I put out this summer, so that's kind of a downer. But at the same time, it's got a verse in Latin. That's a callback to 2 songs ago. So I never thought this would be a staple in the set, but you know, here it is. The true story of the 1634 possession of the Ursuline nuns of Loudun, France, as previously told by Aldous Huxley, as previously shown in the film The Devils, 1971 by Kim Russell, and now is a Blue Red song. Well, out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun who we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, in Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Come Lucifer, come Astaroth, Leviathan and all. Come Satan, dare to lead me, the ales of the ball. Witness now this covenant, a seal laced in blood, to trample down the holy church and sin against their God. Out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, in Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Well, in convulsions and contortions, oh, the sisters laid in beds, wrenching wild and bent and screaming, tearing hair from off their heads. What magic, what maleficence, what devilry, what bliss, to lay with Father Grandier and find out what they missed. Out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun who we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Well, sister, the matron of this abbey, Sister Genius often said, though standing only 4 foot tall, stretched 7 feet in bed, all the devil moved within her, and so did Grandier. None above him, none below him, none beside him where he lay. Out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun who we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, in Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Here it comes. Are you ready? Exorcising most de omnis, mundo spiritus, so you grew up for the gallows, red-eyed, wild, and insidious. What drove you from the priesthood and what brought you to the stake? And will you whisper words of comfort when they burn you at the stake? Out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun who we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, in Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Ashes to the corners of the wind, and the nuns return to habits they indulge in now and then. I heard that. And every time the wind whistles through the convent trees, they feel a bit possessed between their bosom and their knees. Out you devil out from the priest Urbane Grandier and the Ursulines in Loudun who we thought to lead astray. They had concourse with the devil, yeah, in Satan's arms they lay. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Let the fire cleanse the spirit, let us bow our heads and pray. Devil out. You can hear that on Spotify or Apple Music or places where music is streamed. It was a digital single that came out in October, and its relative success on those platforms proves that most people have no taste.
Well, you know what Ray Wiley Hubbard said? He famously wrote up against the wall, Redneck Mother, don't write a song that you don't want to play for the next 50 years. Don't release a song.
It's not that successful. I just finished rewatching though. I'm going back and watching most of Ken Russell's like 70s and 80s films right now. So I just rewatched The Devils from 1971. That song is also about. And man, like Oliver Reed's mustache deserved its own acting reward in that film. Like, it's perfect. It comes to two beautiful points, and you can just imagine like an angel and the devil on each point of the handlebar. Like, it's a glorious mustache. It makes me wish I could grow a glorious mustache, but only if it was Oliver Reed's.
I have a little feedback problem here, don't do.
I always get confused because I have a friend named Reed Oliver, and so like sometimes I call one the other, and that's confusing. But he's got a pretty cool mustache too, so.
Okay.
I stalled for time with mustache talk.
I like it. I like it. Well, this is almost a bluegrass, you know, so almost a bluegrass. This is a song also from the first record, and it's called Real Love. Why is this one coming up? Maybe it's the mids. Mids don't have my guitar.
If you took it, given woman and man and joined together for a whole life span, will you find real love? Will you find real love? Real love, love for a lifetime. The bends just like wine, growing strong and entwined. Real love, the kind that can carry the weight, tough enough to weather the fates. Love that survives. Did they find real love when the clouds gave way? See it survive until the light of day. Did they find real love? Did they find real love? When the clouds grow black and the winds grow cold, and then a shelter into heaven mold, will they find real love? Will they find real love? Real love, the love for a lifetime. The bend is
It's just not like that.
Sometimes they just ring like that. Thanks, guys.
Sometimes they are that way. Thank you to everyone who's sitting here and listening. I really appreciate that. And coming out and, have some great NeWorlDeli food. My favorite is the soup and the key lime pie.
Ooh, that key lime pie.
Ooh, that key lime pie. To write an ode to the NeWorlDeli key lime pie on these days.
Claudia mentioned this song earlier. It's usually a duet, but I think I know all the words. This is also on the record. The one in the bin back there on CD. The green dress that you wore with feathers one time at the circus. Necklace open to the wide window sun. Oh, you could be waiting there for anyone. Brown eyes open to another morning sunrise. Disguised fire burns beneath the old world, yeah. All the glowing ember end of cigarettes. Take off your shoes and settle down. Even when you're sleeping, the world still circles around and round and round. Take up your hair and let it down, down, down. All your green dress falls in circles to the ground. Green leaves, a road built from a canopy of old trees. Green sleeves to welcome back the coming of the sun. All to usher in a season just begun. Red veins running up the trunk right through the wood grain. The blue rain, the purple blossoms swirled around the crown. On these two heartbroken hearts that can't be found. Yeah, they shatter, but they never make a sound. Take off your shoes and settle down. Even when you're sleeping, the world still circles around and round and round. Take up your head, let it down, down, down. All your fingers falls in circles to the ground. Green dress that you wore with feathers one time at the circus. Backless, open to the wide window sun. Oh, you could be waiting there for anyone. Oh, you could be waiting there for anyone. Could be waiting there. It's a good take.